Welcome to SynchroRide Authentic Cycling by VeloBene Bicycle Products. Please take a few minutes, sit back, and let us show you the SynchroRide Authentic Cycling program. In the overview, we'll touch on all of the elements that make up our SynchroRide program. Subsequent videos will take a deeper dive into what makes SynchroRide unique and highly effective. Learn to teach using our SynchroRide Authentic Cycling program and watch your students excel and achieve their goals. So just what is SynchroRide? SynchroRide is an indoor cycling instruction technique for all fitness professionals. It takes the best-in-class approaches from both indoor and outdoor cycling and brings them to the indoor cycling student so the student can maximize the actual realized benefit of a studio cycling class. So simply put, SynchroRide is how you become the best indoor cycling instructor you can be. It is a synchronized approach to all of the elements that make up a successful studio cycling class. Who is the team that makes up SynchroRide? We are Mark and Diane Shelley, and we have been active cyclists and part-time fitness professionals for over 35 years. Cycling has always been a serious passion for me, and Diane, no pun intended, went along for the ride. Then got bitten by the wattage and power bug. I was blessed with the body of a hockey player, not a cyclist. Diane came into this as a flyweight and figure skater without ever learning, even as a child, how to ride a bike. In fact, our second date was to a bike shop to get Diane her very first one. 5 years later, we moved on to tandems. For us to keep up with the fast crowd on our tandem, we had to learn and adapt. Over 15 years ago, that meant finding a way to keep cycling fitness over the brutal New England winters. In 1999, we took a Johnny G spinning class and the light bulbs went off. Every winter, we were both in the gym, working to maintain cycling form. Early spinning classes were designed to sweat buckets, not necessarily make you a better cyclist. Why not do both? We learned on our own how to take an indoor cycling class and use it to improve our cycling form. The cleaner the form, the more power that goes into the bike. Power is too precious to waste. In 2004, we began teaching indoor cycling. We taught classes based on rate of perceived exertion. We evolved and taught classes based on heart rate. We continued the evolution and now teach based on wattage. What was missing all this time was the original core of studio cycling. That is the cycling. By getting back to the roots of cycling, our style has evolved to the point of where we are today. SynchroRide. Our SynchroRide program will give any student a solid cardiovascular workout. Every student will still sweat buckets. The music still kicks out a beat, and in the process, they will all become stronger cyclists. For the students that aren't cyclists, it's all good. They are still getting the best cardio workout they can while achieving their fitness goals. For the committed cyclist, they'll get a chance to work on those small cycling form breaks that steal power from them on the road. The SynchroRide Authentic Cycling program is a win-win for all indoor studio cyclists regardless of their goals. There are 5 principles behind our SynchroRide program. Sticking to these core principles as indoor cycling fads come and go is what makes SynchroRide so effective. For every student, whether a student is a casual gym member looking to get a little more fit, maybe drop a few pounds, a serious fitness buff looking to be as strong as they can be, or even the competitive cyclist simply looking to hone form and power, SynchroRide produces classes they can all use to succeed. These 5 core principles are the backbone of the SynchroRide program. Make it real. Make sure that you don't drop into the trap of searching for the next cool move on the bike that breaks down your cycling form or removes power from the bike. Many of the current fads are not only counterproductive to power generation, but they're unsafe. Make it authentic. Become a student of the craft yourself. It's one thing to talk the talk, but students respect you so much more when you can walk the walk. If you can't do it, why would you expect your students to do it? It's hard to teach that quiet, relaxed upper body when you're bouncing Betty or Pogo Paul on the bike. Don't be that instructor. Make it meaningful. Each class profile you create should have a very specific targeted element of the cycling experience. It starts with warm-up by setting a tone for the class and goes all the way through the instructions given during cool-down. Not every class needs to be high-intensity interval training. In fact, if every class is high-intensity interval training, all students will eventually plateau and stop showing gains. Make it personal. If you see something wrong in class, correct it. Each student deserves your attention and focus. They are there to get stronger. It's up to you to let them hear the words they need to accomplish the goal. Celebrate the wins. For some students, making it through the first class is a major accomplishment. The first time they complete a full sprint set is an accomplishment. Whatever it is, guide them one-on-one. And yes, it means getting off the bike every once in a while and never ever teach from the line. Be in front and face the class. You're the instructor. There is no replacement for direct observation and making eye-to-eye contact with each and every student. Finally, make it specific. Look at the equipment and coach to the precision that the equipment allows. If the bike has wattage, RPM, cadence, caloric burn, mileage, incorporate those elements in your coaching. If the bike has nothing other than a resistance knob, then use the methods that concentrate on perceived effort. The student needs to synchronize with the machine to see that for each and every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. There are 6 chapters in the SynchroRide instruction series. Chapter 1, Bike Fit, covers how to fit a student to their bike. Once proficient, you can fit a student in under 30 seconds. The fit is important because it is not possible to have clean cycling form without a foundation of correct bicycle fit. Bike fit starts with shoe cleat alignment. If the alignment is wrong, at the very least you leave power behind. At the worst, you run the risk of a repetitive knee strain injury. Chapter 2, Cycling Form, covers the principles of proper pedaling technique and body position on the bike. Improper form wastes power and again, in some cases, may lead to a repetitive strain injury. Chapter 3, SynchroRide Tracklets. The icons and symbology of SynchroRide is the very core of your class profile. Using a collection of simple symbols and colors, you create an easy-to-follow profile for your class. By creating a visual cue sheet, a quick glance gives you all you need to know to coach the next track. Chapter 3 explains all of the meaning behind these symbols. Chapter 4, Profile Layout and Music Selection. Combined with Chapter 3, this is the secret sauce of SynchroRide. Music is the soundtrack of your class. The profile sheet is the ride story. They go hand in hand. In this chapter, you will learn how to craft a profile script, how to select the music playlist that matches. If you lose your voice, can your students complete the profile by just listening to the music? After going through chapters 3 and 4, the answer is yes. Chapter 5, Coaching Techniques. The cues that you give are how you instruct the students to follow the profile. They need to be concise and specific. You'll develop your own flow and rhythm. Some of you talk a little, some of you talk a lot. Either works. SynchroRide isn't there to change your personality. It's there to refine your content. This chapter covers all of the subtlety in delivering crisp instruction during a session, even the Tabata challenge. Yes, Tabata on the bike, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 times in 4 minutes. Chapter 6, The Instructor's Bag. We all substitute teach at various places. Ever walked in and not been able to connect to the sound system? Had a class of triathletes when you're expecting beginners? Found a class oversubscribed with 2 bikes out of service for simple repairs? We'll give you ideas on what to carry with you to every class so that no student is ever disappointed. These are the chapters that make up our SynchroRide program. So let us give you a preview of Chapter 3, the SynchroRide Tracklets. Tracklets are one element of a class profile sheet. Each and every class has a profile sheet. The profile sheet is a fully annotated playlist. Each song track in the playlist has a corresponding tracklet and a script. The tracklet is the visual cue for the song, and when combined with the written script for that song, completes a single scene of the profile. An hour-long class usually has between 15 and 18 scenes. In Chapter 4, we cover profile development and music selection, how to write a song track script, how to select a song to match the tracklet and script, and how to string a collection of scenes together to develop an entire profile. Tracklets have a color element that describes the underlying cycling form, and a graphic element that describes the resistance and cadence baselines for the song track. There are a few special case tracklets that are used for recovery scenes, warm-up and cool-down scenes, along with a very specialized scene, the Tabata Challenge. Let's finish today's presentation by just taking a look at two tracklets in a little bit more detail. This is the yellow triangle tracklet. It signifies that we will be transitioning from a seated to standing position only a few times during the track, and we will be using heavy resistance with a low cadence. The yellow color element indicates the transition from seated to standing cycling forms, and there are only a few transitions during the song track. You could plan a standing section for the first 20 seconds of every minute, or perhaps you want to stand on the chorus of a song track. Heart rate and breathing will take a slight uptick when standing. The power output will remain constant during the entire song track. The triangle graphic indicates heavy resistance. Heavy resistance is synonymous with low cadence. In Chapter 2, we cover all of the cycling forms and proper body position in detail. We define low cadence as 60 to 79 RPM, and we never ride under load at a cadence of less than 60. Not only is it not good for your knees, it serves no useful purpose for indoor or outdoor cycling. When you see this tracklet on your profile sheet, you immediately know that the resistance is high, the cadence is low, and you'll be moving from saddle to standing a few times during the track. This is the red segmented dome tracklet, and it is used during high-intensity interval training scenes. It signifies that we will be performing a high-intensity interval at a moderate cadence during the scene. The seated versus standing element of the scene is conveyed in the written script. The red indicates that a high-intensity effort is required. The dome graphic indicates moderate resistance. Moderate resistance is synonymous with medium cadence, and the segments indicate that this is an interval track. We define medium cadence as 80 to 94 RPM. The red element indicates that the intervals are specifically high intensity. A full-on high-intensity interval training profile may have as many as 8 high-intensity scenes within the profile, and it is a rare profile to teach. This should not be your go-to profile. The dome graphic is featured in profiles that concentrate on sustained high wattage output, most closely matching a true bicycle race feeling. Very few studio cycling classes focus on this range. Why is that? Often, they are pedaling below 65 with huge amounts of resistance or flying along at a cadence over 110. The answer is music selection. Almost all studio cycling music today is electronic dance music, and it has a natural beat of 120 to 128. We ride to what we hear. In Chapter 4, we show you how to find and use music to augment and match the class profile. When you see this tracklet on a profile sheet, you immediately know that the resistance will start as moderate and the cadence is medium. The written script for the scene will give you the interval timing, the type of interval, whether or not you're lifting the cadence or increasing resistance, and the cycling form to be used. That's a brief look at tracklets. If you'd like more info on our SynchroRide program, please contact us at VeloBene Bicycle Products, on the web at www.velobene.com, or via email at info@velobene.com. Currently, the individual chapters of the program are available as part of our one-day, 8-hour in-house instructor seminar. We are developing an online version of the program with a planned 2016 release date. Thank you so much for watching our SynchroRide overview. Ride safe, ride strong. We are Mark and Diane from VeloBene Bicycle Products.